Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Susie Say That. Today's topic is, who are you when no one is looking? Who are you? We can be many things for many people, places, and things, but at the end of your day, when you get home or wherever you need to be, who are you? Are you that same person around your family, your friends, your job, your children, your spouse? Who are you? Or are you that person that holds your head up underwater all day long, being someone else, and then when you come up to breathe, that's the only time you are you? Who are you? You have to ask yourself that. When no one is looking, are you secure with yourself? Do you not care if anyone in this world approves of you? Ask yourself that. If they never approve of you, would you be okay with being you? Are you okay with you? Or are you a hell raiser? Everywhere you go, you raise hell. You causing some kind of form of misery in somebody else's life. At your job, you got to complain about this. With your spouse, you got to complain about this, that, and other. With your children, you are never satisfied. Could it be that you are never satisfied because you are not being the true you? It's only one of you. Although you are many people for different roles, it's only one of you. Who are you? You have to ask yourself that. Because if you ask yourself who you are, you'll never know who someone else is. Because you don't even know who you are. But you want to sum up everyone else when you don't even know who you are yourself. I remember years ago when one of my daughters was in college, and she came home one weekend and she said, "Hey, Mom," she said, "can you go to the Goodwill with me? I'm looking for this petite jacket." And I was like, "The Goodwill? When you ever asked me to go to a Goodwill?" And she was like, "Yeah, but one of my college friends said that the Goodwill have good old women, petite leather jackets and stuff. I'm looking for this bummer, and I want to just go and see do they have it. Will you go with me?" I was like, "No, I don't want to go to a Goodwill. I don't." I said, every time I get in those places, I start itching and stuff. I don't like Goodwill. She said, "Come on, Mom, we're just going to look at these jackets and we're going to leave out." And I said, okay. We get there, and I'm just looking at belts, and my daughter is looking on a rack, and I see this lady that I just know now. I've never had the conversation with her. She come up from around the corner and she said, "Oh, I can't believe it. You at the Goodwill. I can't believe, look who at the Goodwill." And I looked at her and I was like, "Who told you I wouldn't go to a Goodwill?" She's like, "I can't believe you at a Goodwill." I said, I'm looking at this woman like, "Who told you that I would never go to one? You don't know me." But she went on, and I just looked at her and I was like, "Have a good day." Seriously. See this woman? She didn't know who she was. But I knew, and I was grounded in who I was. I didn't like going to Goodwills or Salvation Armies. I just didn't. And I should have never even said anything to her. I should have looked at her and acted like I didn't know her, because it was foolishness. But then I asked her the question, "Who told you that? You don't even know me like that." And she looked and she kept going on, "Oh, you think you're too good for the Goodwill." I'm like, I don't even know this woman. So who told you that? She didn't know who she was. Because if she knew who she was, she wouldn't have been trying to sum up me of why I was at the Goodwill. Another example, I was in the store one time and I would see this one woman all the time, and I can't make these stories up. They're true. I wouldn't do a video if I didn't tell the truth. This woman said to me, "Why you always looking at me like I ain't nothing? You always looking at me like I ain't nothing." And I said, "I don't know you like that. I've never had a conversation with you." I said, "What are you talking about? Every time I seen you, you would act like that I'm not nothing. You would look down on me." And I said, "I've never looked down on anyone, because I'm a human being too. I've set the standards for my life, and now you mad about it? I speak to you. What more you want? My life? You're not getting my life. And that is, I'm not going to give you my energy to defend who I am." Later on down the line, we became sociable to each other, and we talked about this. She said, "But I just felt that you just thought I was nothing." But then I began to talk to this woman. Her self-esteem was where mine used to be many years before that. So I understood why she felt like that. And we talked about it. And that was that. And I said, I never look at human beings like they're nothing. And if you feel that people are looking at you like you're nothing, you're going to have to start dealing with yourself. Because it's not what they think about you. It's what you think about you that attracts them. And sometimes they attract themselves to you because they know that you're not like them. And now they want to take away, even if you got a little things going on about who you are, they want to take and then just take it away. That's why they present themselves in that kind of manner. They knew that I cared somewhat about myself. So then they want to just, the enemy sends them to do a check and see am I still worried about what they think about me. And at that time, I had been in counseling with my former pastor, and he had built me up, so I thought I was just this chick. I loved myself. And then I got around people that didn't, and I fell back into that trap of not knowing who I was. And I fell deep in it. I met a guy, and the guy said the same thing about me. You think you're too good. You think, now some people say, well, why is everybody saying it about you? Well, because they don't feel good about themselves. What about that? People that don't know who they are can get a gang of witnesses because they're just like them to say this is who you are. Okay? Just remember that. People that don't know who they are can get a gang of witnesses because there's a lot of those out there because I used to be one of them. And I could have got any time a gang of witnesses to say you were something else and you wasn't. I could have got a gang of witnesses say you think you better. I never done, but I could have because I was dealing with people that was just like me that didn't know who they were. I remember this one time I was dating this guy and the counselor had told me that I either was going to go to where he was or he was going to come to where I was. And that means elevation of who we really were as people. And I told her, I was like, no, I'm not going to be going and doing those things that he do. I found myself in some places that I said I'll never go with him because he said, you think you're too better, you think you're too good to go there. You think you're better than people. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to prove to him that I don't feel that way. So I'm going to go to this place. Got with the counselor again, and she said, so what's going on? And I was telling her what's going on. She said, have you went to church with you yet? And I said, no, but I need to tell you, I did go to some places that he liked, and I didn't feel comfortable there. I said, you would not believe this. My uncle, my father's brother, and he calls me Sudi, he came into where we were, and he said, hey, Sudi, what you doing here in this place? And I said, hi, this is my boyfriend. I'm here with him. And my uncle looked at me with a firm conviction that you don't belong here. And he kept looking at me. This is the truth. A month later, my grandfather's brother come in there and he see me. He says, niece, what you doing in here? And I said, I'm here with my boyfriend. And he looked at me like, you don't belong here. I never went again. And I told him I'm never going to that place again because I don't go to places like that. You think you better, you think you. And I began to tell the counselor what was going on in our relationship. And she said to me, you're going to make some choices. And I was like, I know. She said, because you're going to keep going deep in that rabbit hole. And he's not going where your rabbit hole is, right? How many times has he been to church with you? None. He went to counseling though. We went to counseling together. With the pastor. She was like, okay. So did he then come go to church with you? I said, no. She said, okay. She said, you're beginning to know exactly who you are, what you want. This could take you down the road or you can bring him up your road, but you got to make some decisions. And I did. I worked on myself big time. And later on, and it wasn't that long, maybe about a year and a half later, I dissolved the relationship because it was taking me into a place that I didn't want to go because I already had been there. You get it? Who are you? I was almost going back to being that dual person, being everything to everyone, but not being who I was to myself. And when I went to God, I was praying to him and I was saying, God, I never get a chance to have fun and do this and do that. And God said, you've lived an exciting life. And I said, how? And God said to me, not sitting on my couch, not just talking to me. He said in my heart, and I knew it was God. He said, I've gotten you out of everything you've ever gotten yourself into. I got you out of it. And that's exciting for me. When I go and reach and get my children, my beloved possessions, and let them identify with who they really are from the mess that they were in, you have lived an exciting life. And then I said, I know who I am. I'm a daughter of God, the great sovereignty I am that I am. I know exactly who I am. I don't have to lower my standards, my God standards, from who he created me to be for someone else to want me or for someone else to like to be around me. Either you like all of me, God and me, or you like none of me. And I'm okay with that. I don't have to no longer prove I'm this person of standards. I have standards because I serve a sovereignty I am that has standards. You may call it judging you. I judge myself. And I became who God wanted me to be because I judged me on everything that I was doing, everything that I was saying. And people had a right to judge me accordingly. And that's okay because I have a right to judge what's on my path accordingly. God has given me that right. If it's not right for me, I have a right to judge it and dissolve myself from it. That is my right as a woman of standard, as a woman that knows who she is. So who are you when no one's looking? Because there's only one of you. Ask yourself this evening, who am I when no one's looking? Am I the same all the way around? Because I am. Does that make me better than you? No, because I used to be you. But now I am me, the only me there'll ever be in this earth. Okay? Till next time.